Okay, so having covered off sales and the related areas in the system, we'll move on to the next area of the Accounts tab, which is Purchases. So again, from the same tab, I'm just going to drop down to the option below where we were in the last video and click through into Purchases. First thing you'll notice here is the screen looks incredibly similar to the Sales tab. So we've got the same New button at the top here, and we've also got some similar options when we drop it down. We've got an import option. We don't have statements for obvious reasons, but we do have a middle panel where we can view our bills by status in a very similar way to how we could view our invoices. One slight difference down the bottom here is we don't have bills by customer. We don't have the pie and line charts, but we do have an upcoming bills area, which can be very useful within a company to see when you're planning to have money going out of your business over the next few days. So by default, we're looking at a range here of 11 days, but I can use this bottom slider just to either pull out or drag in, depending on what's appropriate to my business and how far into the future I want to look. So for the moment, I'll drop down here and show you just a bill creation screen. Again, I'm not going to run through in detail as this is incredibly similar to the invoice screen. The only real difference that you have here is an attachment option if you wanted to keep a copy of the bill or potentially something relating to that bill for tax purposes. You can do that. Otherwise, almost every single area here is exactly the same as the invoice creation. So I'm going to cancel that for the moment and come back out to my main screen. So as I said, creating a bill, very, very similar to creating an invoice. A repeating bill and a credit note work in exactly the same fashion as well. Once again, clicking on a particular option here takes me through to look at the invoices that only belong in that status. So for example, I click on my awaiting payments and I'm taken to that tab which shows only those bills specifically awaiting payment. I've got my same search button here, and I've got the same tabs at the top. I do also here have a batch payment or a schedule payment option. So if, for example, here I wanted to go and pay the last 4 invoices, which are the overdue ones, as shown by the red text, I can then click batch payment, just confirm that option, and then I'm taken through here to put in a payment date, bank account details, and I can click make payments. So that's useful for those that do multiple payments and especially use ABA files to import those into their bank account. So I'll jump back to the bills area for the moment now. So as a quick wrap of that short video, new creation from the top and an import option for those that are setting up, followed by your status areas where you can click through to specific bills and a bit of a dashboard view at the bottom there. So that's as far as I'm going to go into purchases for the moment. If I drop down the accounts tab here, I do also have expense claims and fixed assets. I'm not going to go into either of those areas because they are both accountants' territory. In most cases, I haven't found a lot of clients that use the expense claim option, but it's there if you want to, and there's a very good help file area on it within Xero. Fixed assets can be entered in to help with things like depreciation and end-of-year expenses. But again, I'm not going to advise you on how to do that or the methods there. You're best to speak to an accountant or bookkeeper for that one. So with that covered off so far, we'll move on quickly into the next section.